So one of the things that I've noticed when it comes to dreams, both lucid and non-lucid, is that certain senses just aren't quite as vivid or realistic as they are in the waking world. For example, scent and taste usually are quite dull for me, or they end up being at the complete opposite end of the spectrum where they're incredibly strong and overpowering, and often not very pleasant. And with lucid dreaming, playing around with senses was something that didn't really appeal to me at first, but as I continued to learn and continued to explore and see what was possible in a lucid dream, I did want to experiment with taste. And this was a lucid dream going back quite far now, and one of the things that I wanted to do was to try and eat the environment. My reasons were, one, as I said, taste, to, I guess, explore taste in a lucid environment, and two, because the idea of eating the environment was something quite different and something quite new, and I wasn't sure what to expect from that. Typically with lucid dreams, expectation goes a long way, and if you expect something to happen, then more than likely it will. But with eating the environment, I obviously had no frame of reference from waking life on that one, so I really didn't know how this was going to play out and what my dreaming mind would make of that. So in this dream, off the top of my head I really can't remember how it started, but I know that I was in my grandma's street and I found this sort of secret little ginnel that led to this place that I'd never seen before, and I think that might have been what made me lucid. And Scott was there and I was talking to him for a little bit, and then I remembered my wish to eat the environment. And the first thing I did was, I think it was like a wall that was next to me, I think I just took a massive bite out of it. And again, I can't really remember, it's probably better that I look at my dream journal before I make these videos. From what I remember, I think it was like chocolate, or it was some sort of biscuit, which was interesting because the environment had then turned itself into food. That was how my mind had interpreted that. So thankfully, instead of just biting into a wall and getting a mouthful of brick, it did turn into something that is actually edible, and I could taste it. As I moved on, I think I went back into my grandma's house, and it was really just that thing of clapping my eyes onto an item and just grabbing it and eating it. And the first thing that I grabbed there was a glass, and when I did bite into the glass, I heard this massive crunch. There was no flavour to it. I realised that I had just eaten glass, and there was a slight moment of panic until I remembered that it is a dream and I haven't really just eaten glass and it's okay. So I finished eating that. Again, it didn't turn into anything, it just remained as glass, but thankfully there was no sort of flavour to it. I just swallowed it and ate it. So I moved on into the next room where there were two sofas, a red one and a green one, and the first thing I did was I bit into the red sofa, and the fabric on the outside was like icing sugar or frosting, I believe you call it in America. It's like sort of strawberry icing sugar, and then the inside of the sofa was like sponge cake, so it was like eating a sort of strawberry sponge cake. When I moved on to the green sofa, I took a bite out of that, and that was sort of like a sour apple chew-it, or a sweet similar to a chew-it. So that was quite interesting. I liked that there were different things there and my mind interpreted things in different ways. I'm glad that everything that I ate was quite sweet and tasted reasonably good apart from the glass. Things could have very easily gone a completely different way, so I'm quite thankful that my mind did that, and that it had turned the majority of these items into actual edible items and things that I would typically enjoy eating. So if you're looking for something to do in a lucid dream, I would really recommend trying to eat the environment. Doing anything that's slightly out there and where you aren't going to be sure what the results are always really fun to do. So thank you very much for watching, guys. That's it for this week's video. If you would like to support me on Patreon, there is a link in the description. You can go and check that out. As well as that, I have my Redbubble page where I sell various different designs, so I would really appreciate if people could go and check that out. And as ever, there is a 20% discount on Vivid Dream products. The link and the code are in the description box below. On behalf of myself and Rara, I have been Max, aka TheRaRaRabbit, and I'll see you in the next video.